Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss on the topic of inclusive education. The main point is health impairments. Have you ever heard about health impairments? Let's discuss on the topic, mainly focusing on ADHD and epilepsy. We, the last group of BSc B.Ed Physics, are going to discuss this. Yeah, let's go through my team. This is my team, me, Shreya, Sudarshan Das, Devishri, Vikas Kumar Nayak, and Vignesh. The first two topics, nature and specific needs of this group, and issues and challenges faced. These are covered by me, where the PPT were prepared by me and Sudarshan together. So let's move. Health impairments refers to physical, neurological or chronic medical condition that negatively affect a learner's educational performance, participation, concentration, behavior, mobility, communication, stamina or social interaction. These conditions may be temporary or lifelong and often require medical attention, educational accommodation, and emotional support. Students with health impairment may appear physically healthy but still experience hidden difficulty that affect learning and participation in school activities. Inclusive education aims to ensure that these learners receive equal opportunities through proper support system, accommodation, and understanding. So it's clear the health impairment are something physical, neurological, or chronic medical conditions. They may affect the concentration of the child, behavior of the child, mobility of the child. Okay, these conditions may be temporary or lifelong. Yeah, meaning of health impairments. What is mean by health impairment? I already told that it arises from neurological disorder, chronic illness, genetic conditions, medical disorders, developmental disorders, temporary or permanent health conditions. The health impairments are the conditions that limit students' strength, energy, attention, or physical functioning. Okay, yeah, let me tell you some examples. It will make you more helpful to understand what is health impairment. First one is ADHD. Yeah, many of us are very known to ADHD. Then next one is epilepsy, asthma, diabetes, cerebral palsy, heart diseases, blood disorders, muscular dystrophy, chronic fatigue syndrome, cancer, tuberculosis. Everything is coming under health impairment. Okay. Now we are mainly discussing ADHD and epilepsy are widely discussed because in inclusive education sector they directly affect learning, attention and classroom participation. Nature and specific needs of the group ADHD. So, what is ADHD? Yeah, ADHD is the neurodevelopmental disorder. It usually begins during childhood and may continue into adolescence and adulthood. ADHD affects academic performance, social relationship, emotional regulation, and behavior. It is having inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. A student or a person who is having ADHD will be inattentive or hyperactive. Okay, what is the nature of ADHD? It is a neurological origin and affect the brain's executive functioning abilities. It's ability such as attention control. They have less attention period Organization, memory, planning, self regulation, impulse control. The students with ADHD are often intelligent but struggle to maintain focus on and regulate behavior. The student who is having ADHD may be intelligent, but they struggle to maintain the focus, struggle to regulate their behavior. Okay. Yeah, different types of ADHD. There are different types of ADHD. First one is predominantly inattentive type, mainly associated with poor attention and concentration. These kind of people having less attention period and concentration. They easily distracted, forgetful, difficulty following instructions, and they make careless mistakes, poor organization, incomplete assignments. The students incomplete assignments. Next one is predominantly hyperactive impulsive type, mainly associated with excessive activity and impulsiveness. Their features are constant movement, excessive talking, difficulty sitting quietly, interrupting others, acting without thinking. The third one is combined type, includes both inattentive and hyperactive symptoms. This is the most common form found in many students. Specific needs of student with ADHD. The needs for structured learning environment. The student with ADHD function better in predictable and organized setting. They need a fixed classroom routine, clear expectations, organized instructions, structured schedules, consistent classroom rules. It may help the structure reduce confusion, improve concentration, minimize destructive behavior. So they need a structured learning environment. Next one, they need a attention support. Since maintaining focus is difficult, these learners require strategies that help sustain attention. Short teaching sections. They are having less attention period, so we can make our teaching into simple parts. Repetition of instructions. We can give the repeated instructions. Visual reminders. We can place the visual reminders all over the class. Frequent eye contact. The teacher can check whether the student is listening or not. Then these supports help learners stay engaged and reduce distraction. The third one is need for behavioral support. Student with ADHD may struggle with self-control and impulsive behavior. We can change that through positive reinforcement, encouragement, behavior modification, and reward system, clear consequences. Behavioral support promotes self-discipline and classroom adjustment. The next one, need for movement and activity. Hyperactive students often cannot remain seated for long periods, so short movement breaks, physical activities, opportunity for classroom participation, flexible seating arrangement will help the students to feel, feel free. Movement helps reduce restlessness and improve attention. Next one is need for emotional support. Repeated criticism and academic failure may affect the self-esteem. So they need empathy from teachers, emotional encouragement, and counseling support. Sometimes they need counseling supports also, and acceptance from peers. Peers should accept them. They are having ADHD, and these all things the peers should accept. Emotional support improves the confidence level and they get motivated. Next one is need for academic accommodation. ADHD affect task completion and organization. So they need extra time for assignments and simplified instructions, not long instructions. They can't hear or they can listen to the long instructions, but if the teacher is giving small instruction, they will definitely obey that instructions. An alternative assessment method, not the traditional methods. We can develop some method for the students ADHD and reduce the workload. We can reduce the workload and we can provide an assistance in note taking. This accommodation helps students to demonstrate their actual abilities. Now we are going to discuss the educational difficulties faced by a student with ADHD. They are having many academic problems such as poor concentration, incomplete work, difficulty in following directions, disorganized notebooks, frequent careless mistakes. In an academic section, they will be having poor concentration that may lead to incomplete work and they will feel difficulty to follow the instruction and direction from the teachers. It will lead to disorganized in notebooks. Their notebooks will not be completed and they will make careless mistakes as well. In their behavioral aspect also there will be some problems like interrupting the class. They will frequently interrupt the class while asking some questions or some movements and all. Then excessive talking. Maybe they will talk to the teacher or the students or themselves also they will be talking. And restlessness. They will do something. One time they will be sharpening their pencil and next time they are throwing some waste on the desk. Sometimes they are talking to another person. Sometimes they will be asking some questions to the teacher or something like that. And difficulty in waiting turns. They can't wait. If in a class, all everybody is in a queue, they can't wait. That's the behavioral problems. And some emotional problems will be there, like anxiety, frustration, low self confidence, mood changes. Their mood will be frequently changing. Sometimes now they are very much happy and speaking to the students. Suddenly their mood will be collapsed and they will be so angry with them. So they are having some mood changes and all. Then socially there are some problems like peer rejection. Mostly the peers are not happy with these kind of students. So there will be peer rejection and the ADHD persons feel difficulty to make good friendship and they frequently having some conflicts with classmates. I already told that these students having frequent mood changes that may lead to the conflict with the classmates. Issues and challenges faced by the students with ADHD. First one is academic challenge. Difficulty in maintaining attention and concentration, easily distracted by daydreaming, incomplete assignments and homeworks, poor organizational and time management skills, frequent careless mistakes, difficulty following instruction. These all result to the poor academic performance, learning gaps, and missed deadlines. Next one is behavioral challenges, the hyperactivity and constant movement, impulsive actions and interrupting others, and the difficulty in following classroom rules and routines. These all things result to the classroom disruption, discipline problems, and negative teacher feedback. Next one is social challenges. Difficulty making and maintaining friendship. They feel difficulty to make good friendship, poor social skills and emotional overreactions, bullying, teasing, and peer rejection. These all result to the loneliness, weak interpersonal relationship, and fear of school. The students who is having ADHD will be fear of school. Next one is emotional challenges. They feel break downs frequently, low self esteem, and lack of confidence will be there, anxiety, stress, frustration, emotional outburst, and irritability. These all result to reduced motivation, emotional instability, classroom conflicts, etc. Then physical challenges also with the sleep problems and restlessness, fatigue due to medication. These all result to reduced energy and difficulty in concentrating. And family related challenges will be there. Stress in managing behavior, financial burden of the treatment will be there, social misunderstanding and inconsistent support. These all result to family tension, reduced support for that child. Yeah. This time we discussed about ADHD and their challenges and all. Now we are moving to the next one, which is epilepsy. What is epilepsy? Epilepsy is a neurological disorder in which a person experiences repeated seizure due to abnormal electrical activity in their brain. The seizure may involve sudden body movements, loss of awareness, staring episodes, muscle stiffness, temporary confusion. Epilepsy is not a mental illness. It is an intellectual disability. It is not a mental illness. Sometimes the teacher or any other persons may consider epilepsy as a mental illness, but it is not a mental illness. It is an intellectual disability. Okay, clear. What is the nature of epilepsy? Epilepsy affects the brain functioning and it may influence attention, memory, learning, emotional stability, and physical safety. Some students may experience rare seizures, while others may have frequent episodes of seizures. So, specific need of student with epilepsy. What is the specific needs of that student having epilepsy? Yeah, need for safety and protection. The seizures may occur suddenly and cause injuries. They need safe classroom arrangements, supervision during activities, emergency response and planning, trained teachers who is known that the child is having epilepsy and whenever he or she is having a seizure, what to do. The teacher should know that. And safety measures reduce the risk of injury during the seizures. Next one is need for medical support. Some students require continuous medical management. They need regular medication, monitoring of seizure patterns, access to medical care, emergency medication when required. Medical support help control seizures and ensure well-being. The need for emotional security. Fear of seizures may create anxiety and embarrassment inside the child. They need emotional reassurance, understanding from the teacher, peer acceptance. The peer should accept their condition, and counseling and support. They need counseling support to understand their situation and all. The emotional security improves the mental well-being and self-confidence. Next one is need for academic flexibility. Seizure and medication may affect the learning and the attendance as well. So they need extra time for learning. They need extra time for learning, repeated explanations. They need repeated explanation from the teacher, flexible deadlines. Like they can't stick on to one deadline. So they need flexible deadlines, support during the missed classes. Of course, when they are having some seizures, they will miss the class. So they need support during missed classes. The flexibility prevent the academic lag and stress. Next one is need for rest and recovery. The student may feel tired after seizure, so they need rest periods, reduced workload. After seizure, calm learning environment is needed. Recovery time help restore physical energy. and need for awareness and acceptance. Misconceptions about epilepsy can lead to stigma. They need awareness among peers. The peers should understand what is the condition of the child who is having epilepsy. Inclusive classroom attitudes. They all should include that child as well. Protection from bullying. So the peer should not bully that child. Social acceptance improves the participation and self confidence of that child. Now we are going to discuss some educational difficulties faced by the student with epilepsy. Missed lessons due to seizure, memory difficulties, reduced concentration, slow learning after seizures, fatigue, injuries during seizures, medication side effect will be there. Like they are having some emotional problems, social problems like isolation, bullying, misunderstanding of their condition, and as well. So, we are going to discuss the issues and challenges faced by the students with epilepsy. The first one is academic challenges. The frequent abstinence due to seizure, hospitalization, and medical appointments, which lead to learning gap, difficulty in concentrating after seizure or because of the medication, some memory problems as well there. The slower learning pace and delayed task completion. These all things will result learning gaps, poor academic continuity, reduced classroom participation. Next one is physical challenges. Risk of injury during seizures, fatigue, weakness, and drownism after seizure. Side effects of these medications such as sleepiness and mood changes. These all result to safety concerns, poor concentration, and reduced academic performance. Next, the third one is emotional challenges. Fear and anxiety about seizure in public. The child is very much anxiety when he or she is going to have the seizure. They are having fear in themselves, and the low self confidence and feeling of being different. Depression, loneliness, and emotional isolation will be there. These all result to social withdrawal from the child and reduced participation. Mental health difficulties will be there, some depression or something will be there. Next one is social challenges. Stigma and misconception about epilepsy, bullying, teasing, and peer rejection, everything will be there. The restriction from the participation in sports and activities, these all lead to discrimination, emotional trauma, and reduced social integration. Next one is family challenges. The emotional stress and fear regarding seizure, and the family will be having financial burden of that treatment. This will result to the anxiety within the family and increased caregiving responsibilities. Yeah, we are wind up in here. Thank you for listening. The other points will be covered by my other teammates. Thank you.